why don't you just make a salute? It does not make any difference. There are no people here. We are in a prisoner's camp. And you can do it without losing honor, for you are under threat and under duress. You know, from the books that we were lectured on, his answer to his son was, son, do not do that to me, because not everyone is given a chance to die for his country. I may be insignificant in this country. I'm not a splendid politician, but how I wish I could hear from my son the same pleading, and how could I would have responded the way the Chief Justice said before he died. One of the heroes that I really, nobody or not everybody is given a chance to die for his country. I have been your president for just a few months, and I have tried my best to restore order in the country. It was really the order that was besetting us day in, day out. And because we have so many fronts to face, I was, before my inauguration, a man in a hurry. I wanted the peace talks to start at the very first year of my term. And I'm just a bit happy, but not so, that we have been able to establish a working relationship about peace with the Communist Party of the Philippines. I was informed by our representatives, Doresa and Belio, and here with the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Junyasay, that everything is going smoothly, and we might hear some definite results in the coming months before December. I pray to God that it would continue as peacefully as we have hoped for, and I hope that I would also have the same success. We have established the modality of the talks, and I would like to salute Murad of the MILF and Noor Miswari for expressing his intention to join us, maybe in one place or different settings. Whatever it is good for me as long as we talk. So now, we have a lull in the three fronts that we really have been fighting ever since. We're talking with the communists now, maybe establish a modus vivendi somewhere with the EMI and MN, and let's begin to talk about peace. I really appreciate all the men and women connected with this enterprise, and I hope someday the Philippines would realize a nation really in peace and everything in order. But there are many things also that places us at the disadvantage now. Things that would create disorder and disturb the peace. We have a drug crisis that some of our fellow citizens consider just a police problem, and even went to the extent that it is an ailment, and that because it's an ailment, the punitive action of the police should not take place. I am sorry for my country, but there are citizens really that fall short of grasping a situation here. 2 years ago, PDEA, which was then under General Santiago, came up with a horrifying statistics that there are 3 million Filipinos addicted to shabu, the meth. And in the ensuing months, when I took over, we had a fairly good and accurate count. Some of them undergoing the urine test to test positive. And they numbered 600,000. Now, if you add that to the earlier prediction of PDEA, add it a little bit of growth at a very liberal and conservative incremental increase of something like 700,000. So you have 3,700,000 Filipinos who are addicted to meth. The problem is the eternal fight between the rich and the poor. And this, strife was injected almost into the level of a contentious issue about drugs. They would want to make it appear that just because this guy is poor and therefore he should not be made accountable to law but placed in a hospital. And even if we wanted to, we do not have the hospital beds of that number. Simply cannot be done. I said, well, he is poor, and whether he has been selling and destroying the lives of people, just so, but he is a poor, so it is the poor now that want a special privilege because they have been attacking worse. So where are the big fish? Time and again I told you, I hope this matter can enter the gray matter between your ears. Kung may utak ka, they are no longer here. They are no longer here, but they continue to play the game. What we have on the level of the streets are the lieutenants at saka yung mga basurero. The only problem now is that a few months before I started, the players involved the law enforcement agencies of our country. And that makes us very, very sad. And that is why there is the ready explanation of why so many. You can just imagine a country with 3,700,000 addicts and say that they are just users. My God, if you are a user, you are a pusher. You have to connect somebody to finance because you have to fix everything. That is why they go around killing people, and when they go skunk in their brain, they rape children, they kill them, rob, and these statistics were never brought up to these people crying about justice. My God, if you want justice to be done, it has to be against everybody. Do not give me that just because he is poor, he has to earn, he has to sell shabu. That act does not really matter to some because they should be protected. I do not simply disagree with you. I consider the fight against drugs a war. There's a crisis in this country. It's drugs. We might still end up like the South American countries under fractured governments. I am declaring war. I am not ordering the police to just a few punitive action. That's why it was not me or I that declared the drug problem and placed it at a level as a national security threat. It was President Arroyo then who was so worried about the problem that she raised it to the level of as a national security threat, and therefore calling the armed forces to do something about it also. But it was not just just being bruited that, usually the army does not. You know, if the military will not do its part and leave it to the police alone, we cannot ever suppress the drug problem. It has infected every nook and corner of this country, involving generals, mayors, governors, barangay captains, and so many of the ninjas. They call them, these are the police who are into it. So today I might be inclined to place a reward on their head, the members of the ninja or members of the police who are then protecting the drug syndicates in this country. I'm placing per head 2 million. And if you are there, you might want to ipagbili mo na yung mga kaibigan ninyo. I want the police and the armed forces to destroy the drug apparatus in this country. We are a transshipment of so many countries. I just, for a matter of courtesy, in front of the diplomatic corps, I might just do it some other time. But we all know that the Philippines is also a transshipment. If I could just have the matrix there in front of you, then maybe you'd start to believe in me. I have this sworn duty. I am no big politician. I am just a mayor of a faraway city in the south, just facing Australia. And on a clear day, you can see the Australians swimming there in the beach. I came from that place, and I was not even a national figure. But what brought me to the presidency, I really do not know. What gave me, what is really with a huge 15 million, 6 million of which was really the margin above my closest opponent. So what is the message of the Filipino? Well, I conducted a very simple campaign. When I said, my countrymen, if given a chance by God and the Filipino people, I would destroy corruption in government. And it will be done. Whether they like it or not, it will be a clean government at the end of the day. I said I will fight criminality and drugs. Most of the criminal acts are really on the account of the drug meanings. So, I will not relent. The campaign will be continuous, and I will be, as I have said in the campaign rallies all over the country, I will be harsh as I can ever be. When you fight a war, do not give me. I will finish this problem of corruption, drugs, and crime. And I hope at the end of my term, and even if it's, I've been telling Congress, hurry up the federal system, because I said, you follow the country with the presidential office, because that would hold together the country. For example, like France, the only elected leader is aside from nationally, it's the president. He has a very limited power, but powerful ones. Powerful statements, but very limited. Do not ever commit the mistake, Filipinos, of going into a pure parliament.